Hello and welcome, this is Eagle Eye 621, and what you see behind me is a double speed stone or cobblestone generator. And this version is slightly slower than my honey block version, which gets you 24,000 per hour, and that's either stone or cobblestone if you use a silk touch pickaxe. Now this was made because in the comments and on the Discord, which you should join us on, in the last video about the honey block version, February 14 pointed out that if you did not have a honey block, you could still do this with a slime block, which is of course true. I will link down to his channel in the description as well. Now, this is not 100% lossless. You will lose about 1% of the items into the lava. You can make it 100% lossless by doing something like this. I'll have a link in the iCards showing you how to make this version, but as you may be able to see, it relies on using hopper minecarts that go above the hoppers, so this does use a significant amount more iron than this version will. And if you're at the place in your world where you're building an AFK stone generator like this, as opposed to something like my stone swirl, which is 100% fully automatic as it's TNT based, that generates 171,000 per hour, it's probably not worth that extra iron. So I'm going to show you how to use this, the materials that you need, and then of course demonstrate how to build it. But before I do that, most of you are still not subscribed. I would really appreciate it if you would take a moment to hit that button, maybe even ring that bell. And I do now also have a join button on YouTube. If you're interested in supporting me in that way, I would greatly appreciate that as well. So let's demonstrate this by going into survival mode. We're going to turn on this lever, which is going to activate the sticky piston to push these slime blocks back and forth. We're going to jump on in there. As you can see, we are getting pushed back and forth. Maybe easier to see if I turn around a little bit. And then what you do is you grab your pickaxe. Now you do want to make sure it's efficiency 5. It can of course be diamond if you want. And you also want to make sure you have that haste 2 beacon in order to get that maximum mining speed. And then on one of the extensions, you just start mining. And then you go back and forth. And visually it does look a little strange, but you are getting twice the amount that you would be getting if you were only doing this with a single column, because you get pushed back and forth in time to mine all of these blocks. And let's take a look at what you need in order to make this. Turn that off, get rid of this. And these are the materials you need. Now, some of them are optional. So the leaves and the furnace are non-sticky blocks. If you build one in the air, which I will do, you won't need these. If you build them on the ground, you will need something that the slime blocks won't stick to. And the exact amount of your smooth stone or any full block and glass is also based on preference. You just need blocks that will prevent the water and the lava from getting out. So let's go over here, and because we're going to build this a little off the ground, we're just going to get some temporary blocks to place down like this and get our chests ready, all facing in the same direction, so we can delete those temporary blocks and now make those all double chests. We're going to point a hopper into the top of all of them, just like this, and then I'm going to use some stone to start outlining where the water is going to go. So on both sides, we're going to need it to go like this. We're also going to need to come up along the back, and then also around the sides like this. And we do want to come in like this, make that one stone so we have some symmetry, and we're going to slap a sign on both of those, and that will help contain the water flow, which you can put in now, just like that. Now we're going to need to have some room for the lava, but we don't want it to affect our source block. So we're going to put this glass up just like this. And again, this can be stone, it doesn't have to be glass. To come around and also over the top so that we can add another sign just like that, one on each side. And of course, you're going to want to contain the back. Now you only need one lava bucket, which you can put right there, and you will see that it will spread across the entire thing. If you want some symmetry, you can add another one like this, but that's purely for aesthetic reasons. Now we need to figure out where our slime blocks are going to go. So if we want to stand facing this block, then we know that we need our slime block to be right here so that we're facing directly into that stone. So let's get our slime blocks, and why don't we get some of our redstone ready as well as our trapdoors. We're not going to need these non-sticky blocks because, as you can see, the slime is in the air. If you were going to use something on the ground, you want to make sure that the leaves go over one. So it's right where this is and also where it's going to be pushed. Now we want to be able to push that with a sticky piston, just like that. And we are also going to want to have some redstone ready. So we're going to use a repeater in here, make that on 4 ticks. Let's give ourselves a little more space, because we're going to want to have our other repeaters facing in this direction. That's not a repeater, that's a repeater, just like this. These also need to be on 4 ticks. Now you don't need that repeater right there, you can just extend the redstone if you want, but I just like the way that that looks better. And this redstone needs to connect so we can make a little bit of a circuit, and our comparator is going to go this way, and do make sure that it's on subtract mode or this won't work. And it is important that this piston is facing into the side of this, or again it won't work. We need to put one more block so that we can have our lever, and then as you can see, we do have our pulsing back and forth, but we do need something to shift the player. Here in survival, you're also going to want some stairs just like this so that you can actually jump on. Now it's important that the trapdoor that we're going to use does not block the player from seeing this. So if we do it like that, and then also come to this block and go like that, you can see that this now does work because we can fit on the inside, and this will push us to there. So if we turn this on and get in, you can see that we are pushed in front of both blocks. If you do these trapdoors the wrong way, you may find yourself only looking at one block continuously or not being pushed back and forth as appropriate. And then that's all there is to it. This lever activates the back and forth of the slime blocks controlled by that sticky piston. You grab your pickaxe and you get right in there. And then you can also use the F3 plus T trick. And if you hold the F3 button and press T, you'll see it does this reload resource pack. And if you were holding down the trigger and you let go while that screen was loading, the game will think that you are continually holding down the trigger so you can walk away from your computer. Just keep in mind that your pickaxe will break eventually, so don't walk away for too long, or make sure that you do have Unbreaking 3 on that or some other sort of auto mending, and then you can come back to all of your cobble or stone as needed. If you found this video helpful, I would appreciate a like, maybe even tell one of your friends. And for more videos like this, do be sure to subscribe. Thanks for stopping by.